I'm the owner of the Grieve School. The Grieve School is a private university where grief healing begins. It's the place where you go to learn how to grieve. Because I don't know about you, but I know about myself. And I know that no one taught me how to grieve. No one said to me, hey, girl, this is how you're going to do it. This is how you grieve. No one set me up. No one gave me the book for how to grieve. And so I went out on a mission all on my own to find that book. And this is where you find me now as the owner of the Grieve School, teaching women how to grieve and how to move beyond that pain. Today, I have a really interesting lesson. I think is pretty good. It's about where we are right now, where we are in our life, where you are right now in your grief. Number one, sometimes as a grief specialist, I have to say the tough things. I have to say the tough things so that you understand them. And not all the time do I just blurt out tough things, but sometimes we have to have that conversation, my friends. And here it is today. You're not going back. You can't. You cannot go back to the before. There is no before. There is no returning to. There is no place to return to. This isn't a pause. This is not a pause that you get to take in your life. This is your life now. This grief is a part of your story, your grief story. We did in the emotional reset last night. We talked a lot about the grief story. Who are you? What is your story? What do you want your grief story to say? What do you want people to understand about your grief story? We all have a grief story. We all have a grief story, and we're building that grief story right now. You can't go back. You cannot go back to the before. And I'm so, so sorry about that. I wish for each and every one of you that I could change that. This is part of your grief story. This isn't all of it. This is part of it. And it's only a piece, friends. It's only a tiny piece of the grief story. A hard, painful, shaping piece. And you don't have to like it. By all means, I'm telling you the truth. You do not have to like it. And you can resist going there. You can say, I'm not doing this. They're crazy. I'm not doing this. You absolutely have the right to do that. But whether you like it or not, these wheels are going to keep on rolling. They're going to keep on turning. And whether you're getting on this grief healing journey or not is completely up to you. Grievers have choices. Not jumping onto the grief healing journey is a choice. Staying where you are is a choice. And I'm absolutely 100% positive when I say you don't have to like it. But you do have to learn how to live with it. Whether you learn from me, where I can show you how to move the pain, or you just allow yourself to live within the pain. I want to talk to women who've been waiting to feel better, who've been waiting for their life to feel better, who've been waiting for their life to somehow change. This is for you. If you're stuck between who you were and who you are now, this live is for you. Why moving on is the wrong goal? Why they keep telling us to move on and it's the wrong goal? Why are we waiting for that move on thing to happen? Honoring your grief and reclaiming your life so that you don't lose it. That's what I want to talk about today. There comes a moment in the grief where the fog starts to clear. You may not be there yet, but there comes a moment in your life where the fog will absolutely start to lift, to clear just enough for your heartbreak, the realization of this true heartbreak to set in. A lot of people ask me, well, when does the fog lift? I don't know, because it's different for everybody. If someone tells you it lifts in 45 days or it lifts in 15 days, that's a lie. I don't know. Every single one of us, the fog lifts at a different point. So we have this fog. The fog is sort of around our brain. It's a protection. It serves a purpose. And that protection is to keep us away from this. This protection is keeping us away from this. The fog around our heart is keeping us away, hello Germany, from the pain in our heart. Okay, there comes a moment in the grief where the fog starts to clear just enough so that you can feel the heartbreak even more. And then the realization sets in. The realization sets in that this is not temporary. This is not a bad dream. This is not going to end. You start waking up day in and day out, remembering what has just happened to you. It's not just a season. It's not just going to pass. This isn't a pause in your grief story. This is the story. This is absolutely what is happening to you. And let me tell you this, my friends, what has happened to you is absolutely the worst. You've lost your person. You lost your love. You've lost your child. You lost your husband. Your partner asked for a divorce. What has happened to you is the worst. This is not just a season that is going to pass. This isn't a pause. This isn't a pause on your story until your life resumes. You don't get to stand over here and pretend like everything is okay and just wait. We've often talked about the before your loss. You are now in the after your loss occurred. There is no going back. But here's the other thing. You're not just going to sit over here and wait until they call you so that you can go back to the before. That doesn't happen. That absolutely doesn't happen. There isn't just a season that's just where this thing's going to pass. You're not on pause. You are not on pause. Let me put a line through it because you're not on pause. You are in your grief story, living it right now. You are in the grief story. And you're living out that story now. Here's the thing about the grief story. You don't recognize her. You don't recognize her. She doesn't look the same. She doesn't feel the same. And she sure as hell doesn't think the same. Because before, she was happy. She was doing things in her life. This is her. Her hair was curly. She had eyelashes. Her life was grand. You don't know who she is anymore. You don't know her. She's sad. She's tired. She's grieving. But this, my friends, is your grief story now, and this is your life. You're living in the after. This is your life. This is your life now. This is the before. This is now. You don't recognize her. And grief, this grief, that sharp, unwelcome companion, is a part of this life. It is not the whole story, but it is a piece, and it is a loud piece, and it is a heavy piece, and it is shaping who you are right now. And the truth is, it absolutely feels unbearable. It absolutely feels unbearable. Debbie says she's me. Have you been waiting for your life to go back to what it was? Hear me out. In our mind, we know we're not going back to this and that our mom's going to be there. We know we're not going back to this and our son is going to be there. I know I'm not going back to this and Austin is going to be there. Intellectually, I know that. I know it intellectually. But what I'm asking you is, are you living on pause until you get back here? Have you been living on pause until you get back to some form of normal? Are you trying to get back to some sort of normal? And a lot of us think that this is happy town. Are you trying to get back to happy town or the old life that you used to live? Even if you know, okay, I'm going to go back to living a great life again, but Bob is not going to be there. She will not be there. I know she's not going to be there. A lot of us have paused. We think that our grief has simply paused in order for us to go back to our old life where we were living in happy town. Some of us even think we're going to get back to happy town and our person is going to be there waiting for us. They're going to be there waiting for us. But I want to tell you, friends, there's no going back. And even a lot of you know that your person is not going to be there, but you're still waiting to get back here. You're in the now. You're in your grief story now. You're in the part of your grief story that belongs to the now. And let's be honest, most of us were taught that grief isn't something to move through. It's something that we don't come out of the other side, like a hallway, a detour. Something that interrupts the real story of life, but doesn't define it. But if you've absolutely lost someone that you deeply love, you know that that's not how it works. You know you're not going to go through this hallway. You know that a door is not going to open up here for you to walk through. This is gone. The before is gone. We are now living here in the after. And here's the thing. When you start to accept it, when you're like, okay, this is me. When you accept, I'm never going back there. She's not going to be there. What do I do now? And you take that one step to move forward. I promise you, friends, that's when things change. Hear me out. I'm not talking about the new normal. There's no such thing as the new normal. I absolutely don't hate that term. There is the now. There is no finish line, no neat ending, no going back. The life that you had with them, the version of you, the world that you knew, ended the day they died. And now you're left trying to figure out how to keep living when everything feels like it stopped. You're trying to figure it out. What do I do now that everything has stopped? Here's the truth that no one tells you. Grief is not a detour. It's not a break in the road. It is the road now. You are not on pause. You are not waiting. And I have to tell you this, friends, because so many of you are waiting. You are not waiting. You're not waiting. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for a sign? Are you waiting for someone to tell you that it's okay? Are you waiting for someone to tell you that now's the time? What are you waiting for? And this is crazy, but it's under there. That waiting is just under there. The reason I want to touch it, the reason I want to tap into it, the reason I want to talk about it is because a lot of you right now don't even know you're waiting. Don't even know that you've been waiting. Germany says, I have no clue on how to go on, what to do. I really have no clue. Yes, for most of us, that's the case. We don't know what to do. We don't know the first step. We don't know what to do. You're in the thick of this new chapter. It's something that you did not choose. You didn't choose it for yourself. You didn't choose it for your life. And you sure as heck didn't choose it for your story. But here it is, and it matters. It matters every single day. It matters. Every day that you wake up and you breathe through the pain, you're writing the next part of your story. And no, it's not a story you've rewritten. It doesn't need to be rewritten. It needs to be written in the now as you're going through it. And it doesn't mean it can't become meaningful or something whole or something real. What part of you is resisting reality? What part of you is resisting reality? Is it the part that's the wife? Is it the part that's the mother? Is it the part that doesn't know what to do? What part of you is resisting reality? Is it the part that's scared? Is it the part that's unbelievably frightened? What part of you is resisting the reality? Many of us are afraid to admit that this is our new life now. We won't even say it. Friends, you're living in this life right now. You are the griever. You are the griever, and what has happened to you was not fair. It is absolutely not fair what happened to you, and I'm so, so sorry. I bet you if I asked you, and I could see you all right now, you would raise your hand. If I just said, who would rather have their arm taken off than lose their person? And most of you would raise your hand. I'd give my arm away. I'd give my right arm away, and I'm right-handed. I would give my arm away rather than go through this. But I need you to know fear is a part of this, and I know you're afraid to admit that you are right here in your life right now. But when you say it out loud, it becomes real. Once you commit to it, you need to commit to it. Because once you say it out loud, it becomes real. And if it's real, then it means they are really gone. They are gone. That means the ache in your chest isn't going anywhere right now. It means that your ache in your chest is love. It means that the life you're living right now is not a placeholder, and this is not a place on pause. This is not the kind of truth that will feel impossible. I want you to understand that when you admit to yourself that they are gone and they're not coming back, it is an acknowledgement. It is not acceptance. A lot of people ask me, hey, Miss Debbie, see you soon. A lot of people ask me, when will I get to acceptance? I don't know. One, I don't know that there is an acceptance. Two, acceptance is something that's on the 5 stages of grief, which I absolutely don't believe in and I don't teach. I need to acknowledge. I need to acknowledge that she is no longer here. I need to acknowledge that my heart is broken. I need to acknowledge that I feel like I can't breathe. I need to acknowledge that I feel like I can't go on. I need to acknowledge that my life is forever changed. I need to acknowledge that Austin is not coming back. I need to know that he's not coming back. And I need to tell you that this really sucks. I'm not on a pause. This is not a placeholder. And when I say that, that kind of truth feels impossible. It feels like you're not going to be able to carry it. And because we feel like we can't carry it, we go do things where we think we can move on, where we think we can get better from. You are not waiting. And so because we are waiting, because some of us think we are waiting, we do this thing called keep busy. Anything we can to keep busy. anything we can to keep out of the pain. If I stay here, I won't have to go there. We keep busy, we distract, right? We keep busy, we distract. We distract ourselves. We stay in survival mode. Once I get through this month, it's going to be okay. I just got to get through July. July's his birthday. I just got to get through July. And then once you get through July, guess what's coming next? I just got to get through his birthday. Once I make it through his birthday, I know I'll be okay. And then once his birthday is done, I just got to get through the holidays. Let me just get through the holidays. Once I get through the holidays, I'll be okay. Violation detected in live to avoid suspension. What violation? A violation was detected in live. I just don't know. I've never seen that before. I have to restart. There's an actual. Oh, you have seen it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and restart, you guys. I'll be right back. Sorry. I had to restart the TikTok because I think someone said the S word, death by. Hey, everybody. Sorry about that. I need to get in touch with them so we can understand that sometimes these words have to be said. Sometimes people have to say these things. Okay. We get to this point where we're just in survival mode. I just got to get past his birthday. I just got to get past the holidays. I just got to get past our anniversary. And if we get past those things, we feel like we're going to be in a better place. But every time you say that, behind every time you get to the part that says, once I get past his birthday, once I get past the holidays, it's going to be better. Behind every time you say, once I get past his birthday, once I get past the holiday, once I do this, once I do that, behind every once I is fear. And that fear is really heavy. And the fear stops you in your track. What if this is it? What if I never feel myself again? What if I don't recognize myself? What if? What if I stay over here and I stay sad? What if I never get back to here? What if I never find the detour? What if I can't come to this side? Because I promise you guys, you'll never find this detour because the detour doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And sometimes in grief, we have to have the tough conversations. Every time you say once I do this, once I do that, once this pass, once that pass, every time you do that, there's nothing there but fear. Have you been using busyness to avoid? Have you been using busyness so that you can wait to cope in your grief? To cope in the pain? I'm just going to stay busy until I can do this. I'm speaking to every woman that feels like she's stuck in the tween. Everyone that's in the tween, in the in between. The woman who no longer recognizes herself. The woman who no longer recognizes herself but doesn't know who she is becoming. The woman who isn't who she was before but isn't sure about the next step either. Any woman out there who's not sure what the next step is, who is still functioning, who is still showing up, who's still going through the motions of her entire life and really, really feels tired, feels like the energy has been drained from her, feels like she has no choice but to push through, tired of pretending, tired of feeling like a ghost, tired of looking at your former self and only wanting to be back there, tired of hoping that something, anything will snap you out of this nightmare. You're not broken. You are grieving. But no one ever has taught you how to live inside of this kind of pain. No one has taught you how to live in this pain. Do you feel like you're living in a body you don't recognize anymore? Do you feel like you're living in an alternate universe? Do you feel like you are absolutely on Earth, but this is a nightmare that you cannot wake up from? Are you screaming on the inside for somebody to come and save you? That's grief, friends. That's the grief. And that's what it feels like. Let's talk about this pressure. The pressure to move on. It comes from everywhere, and it is everywhere. And here's the other thing. You even give it to yourself. You put yourself in the pressure. You put yourself in the pressure. Sometimes you tell yourself, I just got to move on. Sometimes you hear it from friends. You haven't moved on from that yet? Girl, why haven't you moved on? It's been already 3 months. Can you imagine? It's already been 3 months. You're still grieving? Wow, I can't believe you're still grieving. It's everywhere. It's silent stares. It comes from friends. It comes from family. Listen to me. You're getting it from your friends, but you're also getting it from your family. They want you to stop grieving. They want you to stop grieving and be like them. Stop. Why are you still acting like that? Mom wouldn't want us to do that. Germany says, I get it from work. My mom asks me, why am I sad all the time? My heart to yours, love. I feel like, and I could be wrong, I feel like the degree that you get from friends is not as bad as the degree you get from your family. Only because they feel like they know you better and they feel like they have the right to say this. But I want you to understand you're also doing it to yourself. You're also telling yourself, I got to move on. I got to be better. You're also telling yourself that, move on. You get it from friends, you get it from family. They stop checking in. Well-meaning people tell you, they wouldn't want you to be like this. Or your own internal voice keeps whispering over and over and over again. Why aren't you over it yet? Why haven't you moved on yet? It's been a year. I should be in a better place. I'm probably doing this grief wrong. This world 100% has lied to us about grief. They have told us over and over again that this grief we will be like this for the rest of our lives, and we just need to learn how to deal with it. That is a lie, and it's absolute BS. The world makes us believe that grief has an expiration date and that at some point, even though you're going to be like this for the rest of your life, you should just pretend. At some point, you got to let it go. That's a timeline for how long you're allowed to mourn. It's their timeline. They set the timeline, right? You're even getting it from your church. You get it from your doctor. You get it when you go to therapy. They are setting the timeline for you. So they set the timeline, and it looks like this. Here's day 1. And that's the end of grief. That's about 3 months. That's the timeline. You might give a little bit more grace to yourself, and you might set your own personal timeline here. Day 1, 3 months, and then you give yourself a little bit more time. When in actuality, I don't know how long it takes. I don't know how long it's going to take for you to grieve, because every one of us is different. Every one of us is different, and every grieving experience is different. And every grieving experience will do exactly what it needs to do. It does exactly what it needs to do, and it takes the time that it takes, period. It takes the time that it takes, period. I'm at 70 days. Let me also say this. You're at 70 days. How old was your person? How old was your person? And who was your person? Was it your husband? Was it your child? Is it your mother? Is it your father? How old was your person? My wife, and she was 53. How long was your relationship? How long were you guys together? How long were you guys together? She was 53 years old. You were together for 10 years. Beautiful. 10 years. I love it. 10 years. You were together for 10 years. You are now at 70 days. You had a 10-year relationship with her. You're now at 70 days. You're barely right here. You're barely even started at 70 days. It will never, ever, ever take you 10 years to grieve her. It will not. But 70 days, 60, that's 2.5 months. Look at 2.5 months compared to 10 years. 10 years, my love. 10 years. 10 years of knowing her. 10 years of being with her. 10 years of holding her hand. 10 years of loving her. 10 years of fighting and arguing with her. 10 years of having pillow talk, of talking, telling secrets, laughing. 10 years of your hearts connecting. 10 years of a beautiful, beautiful relationship. And you're at 2.5 months. You're barely here. You're just at the beginning. I don't know how long it's going to take. It's going to take the time that it takes. But I promise you, it's not going to take 10 years, and it's not going to take 70 days either. We were each other's soulmates. Okay, let me add that part to it. She was also your soulmate. She was your soulmate, my friend. And that's the other thing. I would think something was up with you if you told me at 71 days, hey Sharon, I'm living my new normal. Oh my gosh, I feel great. No. She said, God really did put us together. I lived in the US and she was in Germany when we met. I love it. Look, I use this as a comparison to tell you it's not going to take you 10 years, but it's not going to take 70 days either. But for each and every one of us, it is a different timeline. Why am I not getting over this yet? The world makes you believe that grief has an expiration date, that there's a timeline for how long you're allowed to grieve and how long you're allowed to mourn. So the world makes us think, this is the world, right? So they make us think, and this is really crazy, but if it was your, if it's your partner, they're like, okay, 6 months. It's like it's written somewhere, right? I'm making this up. If it's your child, I'm going to give you 1 year. If it's your parent that has died and you're a small child, and I'm saying 18 or younger, they're going to give you 1 year. This is the world's timeline. I'm laughing because it's goofy. If it was me, I'm 62. I'm 62. My mother's still alive. She's 83. If my mom dies tomorrow, 3 weeks. 2 to 3 months. I'm telling you, I better not be mentioning her after 3 months because they will give me a correction. I better not mention her after 3 months. That's it. She's in a better place and she lived a good life, and I just need to understand that, and I just need to move on. If you've lost a child, they're going to give you 1 year. A partner, 6 months. Right? This is their timeline. This is what they've decided is best for you. Some of them put everybody here. Some of the people in the world put everybody here at this timeline. And once you're past that invisible line that you're supposed to be okay, they don't have the tolerance for you. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. Oh, yes. And Suzanne said there's no timeline for a fur baby. No, because on Saturday, you can go get a new dog. So on your fur baby, it takes until Saturday. Oh, on Saturday, go get a new dog. Replace the loss. So that's all you get for your fur baby. Once you've passed the invisible line that they have set for you, you're supposed to be okay. Once you get to the 1 year mark, you're okay. Once you get here, you're okay. In their eyes, it's all done. And they're done. Basically, they're done. And if you want them around, you better not be bringing this up. Let me repeat that again. They are done. They are done. And once they're done, they're moving on. And once they've moved on, that's it. If they come around you and you bring it up, they're going to change the subject. And if you keep bringing it up, they're not going to come around you anymore. They're going to pull back. But here's what I know. There's no timeline. There's no schedule. There's no moving on. There's no false finish line. That date doesn't exist for you anymore. And that, my friends, does you more harm than good if you buy into any of this or you have set yourself a timeline. If you've set yourself a timeline, you've only set yourself up to fail. When I say move on, what does it stir up in your body and in your gut? Does it stir up resentment? Does it stir up guilt? Does it stir up shame? What does move on stir up for you when you hear me say that? Does it throw up throat punch? Becky says anger. Like I want to throat punch you? We don't move on from grief. We move with it. We move with our grief. We flow with the grief. We lean into the grief. We allow the grief to lead us and guide us. Today might be a really bad day, and so I lean into the grief. Tomorrow might be different, and I can stand up straight. Thank you, Aida. So sweet. I can stand up straight. But we flow with the grief. We want to relax our body into the grief. You don't move on. You move with it. it becomes one of the threads in the fabric of your story. It's one of the threads in the fabric of your life. We carry this grief with us in our memories, in the empty chair at the dining table, in the holiday traditions that don't feel right anymore. The grief will be there. In a way that we see the world differently now, the grief will be there. It does not disappear. It's not supposed to, because our grief is tied to our love. It's tied to the love in our heart. You grieve deeply because you love deeply. You guys, I heard something so loud today. I want to talk about this. I was waking up. It was about 5 o'clock this morning. My husband turned on the news. I had my first cup of coffee, and he had the news on, and we have the local news, and we're in Texas. So, of course, they're talking about the story. They're talking about the Guadalupe River, all of the beautiful souls that were lost, and all of the families that were there. And there was a lady. So they put up a memorial. They showed the memorial. They interviewed the first responders. And there was the newscaster was there, and she was going through all these different stories. She came back and she started to interview one of the firemen, one of the fire chiefs. And he said, and there's one part of this, I'm not judging him or trying to change it. He said, I think at this point, there's still 70 people missing that they're still looking for. I can't even begin to imagine. I cannot even begin to imagine. He says, well, we're doing our best. We're out here. We're searching through the shrubs. We're walking up and down the river. We have some of the places we can't even get. We have to only can go there on horseback. We have tractors out here. There's trailers. There's people digging by hand. This is the part. He goes, we're trying to find their loved ones so we can give them closure. What the hell? What closure are you trying to give them? Their nightmare began last week. You finding their beautiful person doesn't close anything. It just means it got worse. It means it got worse. How the heck do we stand in here and tell people we're going to give them closure? Closure sounds like we're supposed to close the door. We're supposed to end what has just happened. Oh, thank you. I now have closure. What is that? I honestly don't believe that we're still in this day and time using the word closure. I can't believe it. It just blows my mind. Hold on. Closure, an act or process of closing something. An act or process of closing something, especially an institution, a thoroughfare, a freeway, a frontier, or of being closed. A procedure for ending a debate. Closure. What are we giving them when we give them closure? It's not a thing. It's not a thing. And the other thing is, when we tell people that we're giving them closure, they're looking for the closure. They are absolutely looking for the closure. They're looking for the closure to take place. To me, when Austin died, closure meant I was going to have to close the door. I was going to have to close the door in my relationship, and that I was going to have to forget him. Closure meant that I was going to have to forget him. And there was no way I was going to forget him. And I was so mad when people would say closure. When you get closure, when is that? Smitty said there's no such thing as closure. Teresa says, I'm not ready to move on. I'm tired of people saying that. You're right. You grieve deeply because you love deeply. And when these families bless their hearts, yes, it's so that they can have the funeral, but not the closure. She said they're helping them so they can have the funeral. Yes. And they can have their questions answered. They can have their questions answered, but they're not going to get something called closure. Actually, their nightmare is going to get worse because the reality of what just has happened to them is really going to hit them, because right now they're living on hope. Right now, they have in their mind that I might be the one. My daughter might still be out there. We're going to find her. They're living on hopes and dreams. So they give them the answer to their question. Of course you miss them. Of course this hurts. Of course the world feels quieter, harder, more hollow without them. That's not weakness. That's your love for them. That's your devotion. All right, my friends. I'm going to do a commercial real quick. My name is Sharon Brubaker, and I'm a grief specialist. I'm a grief specialist and the owner of the Grief School. The Grief School is a private university where healing begins. In 2006, I was a real estate agent, and I was sitting in a real estate open house, and my daughter called me, and she was screaming into the phone. She was screaming into the phone that she had lost Austin. Austin was my 10-year-old nephew, and he drowned at the lake on Father's Day weekend. It was 3 hours after the initial phone call that they found his little body right near the boat. It was after that call, as I walked up the stairs to tell my sister that we had found him and that he had in fact drowned, that I realized I didn't know anything about grief. I didn't know anything about grief. I didn't know anything about closure. I didn't know anything about grief healing. I knew I needed a bereavement group. I knew that they took place in the hospital, and I knew I needed to send her there. Not me, her, because I didn't think I was grieving. Thank you. Thank you, Germany. I did not think I was grieving. I went on a mission to find out everything I could about grief and loss. And here's what I found out. This is going to be real important, so I want you guys to listen to this. I found out that no one was coming to save me. No one was coming to save me, and no one was coming to give me the answers that I needed. Not only that, I found that there was nothing but misinformation. There was a ton of misinformation. People were confused. I absolutely felt like I was so mad at the 5 stages. No one was coming to save me. There was a ton of misinformation. There were these 5 stages that we held on to like they were the Holy Grail. Thank you. Have a great day. Come back and see us again. It's been 18 years for me. It's been 18 years. And within that 18 years, Erica lost her second child. She lost Donovan. We lost our dad. And I lost my best friend, Sharon. I have lost some aunts and uncles as well. I actually lost, my uncle died last week, and I'm going to be going to his funeral. And he was my favorite uncle, Uncle Preston. And I'm going to be going to his funeral. I'm smiling because I love him so much. I reached out to his daughter yesterday, who I'm really close to. Hey, girl, how's it going? She said, it hasn't hit me yet. And that's how it is sometimes at the beginning. It takes a while for it to hit you. Thank you, Aida. It takes a while for you to really feel that. Sometimes because you go into the grief business, you don't feel it right away. One of the things Eric and I used to do prior to COVID is we would do grief intensive weekends. We would bring everybody together for an intensive, and we would walk them through grief. We have not brought it back, but now we're bringing it back for the first time. Erica is the mother of Donovan and Austin. She's my sister. If you are still here and you still feel like you don't understand how to get this pain to move, there is no quick fix. What I'm offering you is a forever change grief intensive weekend that we're going to do September. Oh my goodness. It's 24th. I don't want to say the wrong date, you guys. I got to memorize the date. Hold on. September 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th. 25th. Thank you. Thank you so much, Monette. 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th. In Dallas, we're coming together where we're going to break down grief for you. We're going to teach you the definition of grief. We're going to tell you and show you what purpose grief serves. And then we're going after the pain of brokenness in your heart from the person that you have lost. We're going after the pain. And we're going to show you how to do the steps that you need to do to work on that pain. That's what we're doing. The 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th. On the 29th, we're giving you a bonus. That's Monday night. We're going to jump on Zoom and we're going to do an emotional check-in, see how your travel was back home, how things went, what do you need, if anything. We're doing all of that. Okay. If you are interested, you go to the link in my bio. You click on the link that says click here for hope. There is a wait list for the weekend there, and also a video. I think the video's back up. I re-recorded the video. I think that is back up. But click on the link that says click here for hope. If you don't see the video there, just put your name and email in there and she'll send you all the information. She is Jovi. She's my assistant. We created a place to hold your grief. We created a place to hold you, to absolutely put our arms around you, to help you move beyond this pain. The both of us teach. We both break it up. We break it down. We teach different parts. We will laugh. We will cry. We will bawl. And we will do a lot of hugging. And your life will be forever different when you walk out that door. And we're absolutely going after the pain. Okay. There is a place where the integration comes in. Integration is the process of weaving grief into your story, weaving your grief story into your now current life, without letting it take over your entire narrative. Some of you are still at the part where you're only talking about your grief story. You're only talking about your person. You're only talking about your loss. And I want to tell you this, and please don't get offended, but if you're at the 1 year mark, I'm just making this up. If you're at the 1 year after your loss and all you want to talk about is them, you need to get into a support group. If you're at the 1 year mark and this is all you want to talk about is them and your grief and your loss, this tells me right here that you don't have any place to lay your grief. And the grief intensive weekend would be a great place for you. Grief study hall would be a great place for you. Grievers need to talk. They need to talk about their person. They need to talk about what happened. They need to talk about their feeling. They need to step outside of their body and talk about planning a dang funeral. What it was like. Who was there? What did the funeral director say? Why did my sister make me mad? Why do they want to do it this way? You need to talk about that. You can't hold that in. It has to come out. But if you're at the 1 year mark and you're still, all you want to do is talk about that, it tells me, this is what it tells me, and I'm not kidding, it tells me that you haven't any place to lay your grief. If you're on day 1, to 6 months, all you should be doing is talking. To someone who will listen. You should be talking to true listeners, people who are listening with their heart, not their head. person who listens with their heart may ask you a question. Tell me more about that. What does that feel like? Wow, that was probably really bad. I can't imagine what that's like for you. Wow, I can't imagine. Someone listening with their head is going to say, what? No, he wouldn't want that. He wouldn't want you to do that. Someone with their head is going to be like that. If we're at day 1 to 6 months, we need to be talking. Grievers have to talk because this negative grief energy has to come out. If you're still talking at the 1 year mark, then it's you haven't had enough places to talk about the grief. I'm going to say 1 year plus. 1 year plus. Okay? Now, that's why I don't know how long this timeline is going to last. I don't know. Because if you've never had anyone to talk to, if no one will listen to you about your grief, what are you doing with it? Where are you going to lay it? This happens a lot, friends, with our girlfriends who got a divorce. She got a divorce, not by her choice, but by his. She found out he's been having multiple affairs. And then one day he comes in and says, I don't want to be married to you anymore. And she absolutely didn't know it was coming. She was absolutely shocked. She was shocked beyond belief. That person, that girlfriend, may talk for the next 5 years about that divorce. Can she grieve it? Yes. Should she grieve it? Yes. Should she do grief work on it? Absolutely, 100%. But you may find that she just, every time you're at a party, every time you're at a shower, you hold up a pencil and she's like, oh, Gary used to have a pencil like that. I remember he would use it all the time. Anything you're doing, anything that's going on, she's going to be bringing it up. Does your talking about your person end at the end of 1 year or 2 years or 3 years? No. You talk about your person for the rest of your life, but it is the way that you're talking about them. When you no longer have the pain of grief in your heart, you talk about them with love. You guys have been here with me before. This is a picture of Sharon and I. Sharon was my best friend. Absolutely my best friend. We were at a shower here, and a really good friend of ours took the picture. And when I look at it, I laugh. This is my best friend for 15 years. 15 years, every single day we talked from the moment we met each other. We were both named Sharon. I love her. I absolutely love her. Okay, so you talk about them, but you talk about them differently. You talk about them with love in your heart. There's not pain. Thank you, Debbie. There's not this pain that drags you down. There's not this pain that absolutely breaks your heart. That's the difference, friends. So let me see. We integrate the process of grieving into our hearts. We integrate it into our story. We integrate it into our grief story. The grief story is our life right now. Friends, I want you to know something. You're all living your grief story right now. You're living out your grief story. I think Rykan says, I just lost my 17-year-old daughter 3 weeks ago and I can't stop crying. Don't stop. Don't stop. It's only been 3 weeks, my love. You had her for 17 years. It's only been 3 weeks. Don't stop crying. There's no need for you to stop crying. You love her. You are broken. And the grief is just beginning. Do not stop. Do me a favor, Rykan. Share her first name here so we can honor you and her. Okay, for some reason I thought it was a girl. He was my life. What's his name? What was his first name? Zion. Everybody, can we tap the screen for Rykan and Zion? Thank you. It's not about ignoring the pain. It's not about staying in this forever. Grief is not about ignoring the pain. It's not about staying in this forever. It's about weaving it into our current life, and we call that our grief story. It's about honoring the grief. It's about you tending to the brokenness in your heart, grieving the space that you are now in, giving the grief space, and giving space so joy to new experiences and to the possibility that healing doesn't mean forgetting, right? There is a possibility. I want you to just have the possibility right now that what I'm telling is the truth. That as you see me standing here, I'm telling you the truth. Integrating the grief into your life and learning how to walk with it will forever change every memory that you have. It won't make them make you fall down because you have that memory, because you live in that memory. It's about allowing both of the pain and the peace to coexist right now, side by side. In the beginning, we're talking. Once we finish doing our talking, we learn how to grieve. We learn how to grieve. We learn how to lean in. We learn how to lean into the pain. Once we learn how to lean into the pain, there's another thing that happens. We learn to live within the pain, with the pain within us while we're working on the pain. This is your grief story. It's revealing itself to you. This is joy. This is peace. They live side by side on the grief healing journey. They live side by side on the grief healing journey. You're not out of grief, but you may enjoy a cup of vanilla ice cream. You're not out of grief, but you might sit with your friend and have a nice cup of coffee. You guys might have a talk. You might have a deep talk. You might talk about something about the grief journey that's not about your child. Jen, hold on one second. I'm almost finished teaching, and I'll answer that question for you. This is about honoring the pain, leaning into the pain, honoring the pain. Leaning into the pain, learning how to let it be there side by side while you're working on it. Because most of us are trying to get rid of this. We want this gone. So we're trying to get rid of this. And here's the truth. You can't just wake up and try to get rid of it. You got to let it be. Grief sucks. And we lean into the suck. We don't resist the suck. We don't push back against the suck. Because once you start pushing back, you get stuck. You get stuck in the pushback. So let's say this out loud together. This is my life now. I'm going to say that again. This is my life now. This is where I'm at right now. I am creating my grief story. My grief story is not finished. My grief story is not over. I am not broken. I'm not doing it wrong. I'm not failing at grief because I still cry. I'm not failing at grief because I'm still numb. I'm not failing at grief because I'm still angry for no reason whatsoever. I'm just mad. You, my friend, are grieving, and your grief will change you. It will reshape you, sometimes in ways that you will not recognize her. You don't recognize her, I promise you. You don't know who she is. I don't know her. I'm here now. This was me. I'm even shorter. Grief changes you. It reshapes you. It will reshape you, sometimes in ways you don't recognize. Your friendships will look different. Your priorities may shift. Your capacity for what you can handle will change. Your capacity for what you can handle will change. You are not the woman you used to be. You are not. She's not coming back, and I'm so sorry. You not only lost your person, you lost her. And that, my friend, will at some point be okay for you. You're becoming You are becoming in your grief. You're becoming someone new, someone forged in a fire, who still wakes up and chooses to keep going. Grief strips everything away. It clears the clutter. It forces you to confront what matters. It also makes you look at what never did matter. And while the clarity is painful, it can also become the foundation for something new, something for you. You will never be the same again. You will be forever changed. You will be forever different. You get to decide how to carry them forward. You get to decide what healing looks like for you. And yes, that will take the time that it takes. But more than anything, it will take intention. You will have to intentionally go after the grief. It takes intention of you showing up. Showing up here in the live today is part of that. Showing up in your pain instead of hiding from it. You are not meant to do this alone. You're not meant to carry this forever. You're not meant to live on a detour. This is your life now, and healing is possible. Not when you deny the grief, but when you tune into the grief and you turn it on and you go after it. We're not going back. We will never go back here. You'll get a smile again. You'll get eyelashes again. You will live a life again, but it will forever be different. I promise you. You're not going back. We're going forward because we are becoming. We're becoming a woman who knows pain. We're becoming a woman who knows grief. We're becoming a woman who has had an experience. We're becoming the woman who has loved so deeply and lost so deeply and is still standing to talk about it. What type of woman are you becoming? Are you becoming whole? Are you becoming honest? Are you becoming brave? Are you becoming deeply, deeply alive? Friends, if you're just at the beginning of your grief, I want to invite you to come to Grief Study Hall. Grief Study Hall is every week for 2 hours where I take one of the lessons from the week and we break it down in Grief Study Hall. We take a deeper look at it. If you go to the link in my bio and click on the link that says click here for hope, you can sign up for Grief Study Hall. You will get an email. If you want to sign up for the Book of Faith, you go to the link in the bio that says click here for hope and you can join the Facebook. There, the lives are stored in the Facebook. There you can find also the podcast. There you can find past lives, right? On September 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th, I'm doing a grief intensity weekend with my sister Erica. Erica's the mother of Donovan and Austin, the 2 boys that she lost. And that's where she will be there teaching with me. And we love teaching in person because that's where you'll get a place to hold your grief. That's where we'll give you the hug. That's where we'll walk through the grief with you. That's where you and I will get a chance to go down deep into this grief. It is done in community. Grief was always meant to be done in community. Click the link in the bio that says click here for hope. And there's a wait list for the weekend, or if the video is up now, it may be up later today. Is the Grief Study Hall on Zoom? Yes. Here's the deal on Grief Study Hall. It is a drop-in, drop-out group. You can come in and leave if you want to. You do not have to turn your camera on. You do not have to share. You can come in and simply listen. Grief Study Hall, the next one, because I'm going to the funeral. I'm going to be attending my uncle's funeral. The next Grief Study Hall is going to be on the 30th at 7 p.m. The next Grief Study Hall is going to be on the 30th at 7 p.m. I will be doing lives even though I'm gone to the funeral, so I'll be giving you more dates on the next Grief Study Hall. I will still be showing up live. One of the most important things, and I want you guys to make a note of this because I go live every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. On the 19th, I will absolutely be attending. Thank you, Monette. I will absolutely be, it's Eastern time, 7 p.m. Eastern time on the 30th. Yes. I will be attending Erica's book signing on the 19th because it is literally right around the corner from the funeral where she's having that in Los Angeles. And I would be terrible for me not to go. So I'm going to go live during the book signing. So that's going to be really exciting. I'm planning on, if there are people there that have read the book, I'm going to do a little quick interview with them. If there are people that are there that were there when Austin died, I will do an interview with them as well. So they can share their experience with Austin or Donovan. So I'm not sure who's going to be there, but I will be doing it live. Okay, my friends, I want you to know that I love you. I want you to know that I see you. I need you to know that I am you. I am a griever, and I will forever be a griever, as we all will. This may be your first loss, but I'm so sorry to tell you that it won't be your last. You will have more grieving experiences throughout your life. For each and every one of us, we grieve multiple times throughout our life. Thank you, Doll Pie. Doll Pie. Doll Pie B. I love it. I wonder what that is. It's the cutest name. All right, friends. Today is Thursday at 11. My next live will be Saturday at 10 a.m. Today at 4 p.m. is Honor Society. Honor Society is for anyone who is in processing the pain of grief, who has gone through processing the pain of grief. We will be doing Honor Society today at 4. And I will see you guys Saturday at 10 a.m. TikTok, hang out. I'm going to answer some questions for you. Thank you, my friends. Bye, Facebook.